I want the team to work better without me. If the company to survive has to work because I'm here, then I'm creating a bottleneck. And that's in a way, I think, insecurity, of a lot of leaders. No, make yourself redundant. It doesn't mean you fire yourself, but I want to focus on other things. So eventually, maybe there's someone better suited than me to run the operation, and I can add value in other areas. In 3 words: passionate, easygoing, and flexible. Okay, I think I wanted to be a pilot when I was young. I was never into management. And I was nearly there, then something happened, I had to change plans. And I was thrown into my dream, my teenager dream was shattered. And then I got a job, I remember, in a production company. And I really understood people. I understood management. I understood how, by really being close to people with no frills, no attitude, and whatever, you can get respect, and through respect you can get things done, and people will stick up for you. So that was an amazing lesson. Then when I studied management, I decided to pursue my studies at university. I set up an events company, this many years ago. I had long hair, party, clubbing, I remember. Great times, good fun. But I had to actually sit down with club owners, sponsors, negotiate, plan, and that was amazing. The lessons I learned, I was like 20 years old, in sitting down in these meetings, planning ahead, juggling, multitasking, juggling, sports, work, studies. And I realized that, this is fun. And I realized that you learn at uni, you learn from textbooks, but you learn a lot by getting your hands dirty. So it's good to study, it's good to amazing degrees and courses and diplomas, whatever, but you also need to get out there in the field. And even if it's just as a part-time job in a coffee shop, but you build confidence, you meet people, you know how to interact, you know how to read clients, you know how to address it in last-minute crisis. So yeah, just everything is a learning opportunity, and I think that for me was critical to help me develop a certain mindset at work and confidence. Obviously then things happen. I set up my own companies, different sectors. Some worked, some didn't. I worked in New York, I worked in Sydney. So a lot of things. And I look back, yes, I'm 50 now, so that's 30 years of work. And yeah, so the whole thing, one chapter after the other, and I moved on. Most of the time I had my own companies, and it's great to have your own company, but then you have different pressures. But you also, at this level, I run the company as if it's my own. But then it's what I learned in the long run, and today, in hindsight, that the way we manage our thinking is critical. And I wish I learned this many years ago. So the cognitive behavior aspect of things is critical. And this is what makes, I think, my role today suitable for me, because it's a big group, but it's not healthy to stress, so you need to be in control of things. And when we have situations, yes, and this inspires confidence in your team as well. I think if I had to reflect on the past years in working, is being able to move forward, in that we all had setbacks in our life. Some things don't work. But I think I always found myself, I could reinvent myself and move on. So considering any failure, any issue, any mistake as an opportunity to grow. Yes, you do feel, you get those moments and weeks, maybe months, of feeling you lost in a way. But then, in hindsight, that was an opportunity to venture forward and move into new grounds. Primarily, I think you have to respect your competitors. You can't see your competitors purely as competitors. You need to use your competitors as a tool that will kind of help you keep yourself on edge. So competition is healthy. I believe even in a saturated market like ours, there's a lot of everything, but as long as you keep on delivering and adding value, giving something different to your clients, then there's a market for everyone. No, but you have to make him feel right. First and foremost, listening and show him you understand, or show her you understand the situation. So rather than go on the defensive, one has to first listen, understand, put yourself in their shoes, and make them feel that you're genuinely trying to understand. If you do that, automatically the client calms down, whatever the issue, be it a small issue, be it a large issue. The client is always a client. So I think having the empathy to understand, you're ensuring that the client genuinely feels that you're there to help him. Then you move on to stage 2, explaining your side of the situation, and stage 3, how you can mitigate and help them. But you have to start initially by understanding. A lot of people make the mistake of trying to go on the defensive straight away. And that triggers a lot of other things, which are then beyond repair. Rebranding, as much as something that could be fun, exciting, sexy in a way, something new, it also has a lot of pitfalls, because when you spend years brainstorming to the customer and client that you're the best or you're this, and building a brand equity, building brand name, then suddenly you change it. You can't just throw your past and what you invested a lot in, down the drain overnight. So there's the psychological effect of rebranding, both not only with clients, also internally, and you need to prepare the way forward. Obviously, we need to see rebranding in different business scenarios. If it's an acquisition, it's a different approach, because one acquires a company and moves on, rebrands. If it's a merger, like what we went through, with the current shareholders still existing in the new kind of setup, then one has to approach it differently. In our case, we were very sensitive to the brand loyalty of the old brand names, both internally as employees, from employees and also clients. And we actually did the opposite of what a rebrand usually does. We actually toned it down and said, everything's staying the same, we're just changing a name. What's in a name? So we actually did the reverse. And we saw that in a way, people saw us as being more true, more genuine, more honest. Because we always push the old brand names forward. And now we tell them, hey, nothing changes, the same people. It's the same values we have. We're just changing a name. Yeah, the group has a complement of about 600 people in total, with direct, majority direct and indirect. The direct employees are also made up from about 36 different nationalities, which is quite amazing. Change, the way you manage change is crucial in any business, in any sector, even in a small family unit. Change is change. And you address change by actually addressing the elephant in the room, because sometimes we have change and things are not always smooth, things are not always the right change. It's life, it's work. So you need to address it, the good, the bad, the maybes, talk, communicate, get champions within the organization that can help you contain and manage this change as well. it's not just the CEO or an owner. You need a lot of soldiers on the ground who actually have leverage on people to explain. But you need to be honest, because if you're not honest, then it will come to bite you in the future. So we did it by actually dividing employees in groups, having sessions with them, explaining. Even I myself went with GMs, head of HR, even one of the owners present. So we made it as an opportunity to meet face to face, explain, answer questions, and try and reassure them that things which we are delivering, promising, will be delivered. Yes, we need to do some changes, but change is also opportunity to grow. Look, this leadership is huge and subject to heart. There isn't a right leader. There is the right leader at the right time for the right team. So maybe I could be the right leader for this company at this time, and maybe I'm not the right leader for this company in the future. So you need to match for leadership. You need to match the right leader, the time, and the team. There are three factors which evolve. But for me, leadership is having the capacity, the emotional intelligence. Sometimes you don't even need a lot of technical knowledge, but more emotional intelligence to understand, connect, communicate, motivate, inspire people. Because leadership is now, rather than you doing things, getting others to help you to achieve things, especially in companies of a certain size. Luckily, we don't have enough, a lot of it, not enough, a lot of it, but sometimes it happens. I don't micromanage, so when there is conflict, if I had a situation where there's conflict in people in my team, the first thing I would do is listen, understand the nature of the conflict, the issues of the conflict, put things in perspective, and then maybe would give them advice that ideally they sit down and thrash it out between them, discuss, communicate, and if not, make it clear that I will be there to support if they need my support, and if they don't sort it out, but then I'll step in and have to take the decisions I think are necessary to take. Depends on the role. If it's a role that needs a certain technical and level of expertise, then you need to see that that person can do the job. But probably it's the attitude, the approach, the way they communicate, the way they listen, the questions they ask. Experience is important, but I believe that the hunger that one has to deliver is critical. Because then you can achieve over time things, results. But you need to have the right approach in wanting the work, but also that curiosity. You know, what do we do? How can we do things better? And this is something that I think one learns outside of university or courses or training, because one has to push himself to get outside of the comfort zone, to explore, to do things which challenge you, adversity, struggle. We need struggle for growth. And sometimes not easy, but if you want to grow your muscles, you go to the gym. If you want to improve your mindset, you need struggle. And I see it in candidates sometimes, people who had it easy or expect everything on their plate, and others who need to work hard and achieve, and they show you they want it. In fact, in interviews, I go head on. I say, tell me 3 things why I should employ you. And if someone can't give me 3 reasons why he should be employed, how hungry is that person for the job? You might know it all. If you're not hungry, what's going to happen in the future? Okay, this making things happen. I know this easy because it's what drives me. And what drives me motivates me. I like connecting people, I like getting results, I like exploring new ventures, new things, make things happen. But sometimes what motivates us can also set us back because it distracts us. So yeah, I'm aware of that. If you have an idea, pursue it, go for it. I'd rather you try it rather than regret that you didn't do it in the future. 1. 2, it's good to have a plan, but it's also good to have an exit plan. Sometimes we invest a lot of time in doing the plan and everything, but we don't have a plan B, plan C, should things not work out as they should. 3, watch out who you team up with. A lot of people have an idea, they want to set up a company, a business, and they set it up with friends or family, and that's tricky. So it's good to share and have people around you, but yeah, be careful. So I'd rather, if it's your business, your idea, and then you use people you know, but on a demand basis, where you need them, where they can add value, and enjoy it. Enjoy the experience, enjoy the adventure. Things might work, things might not, but go for it. Well, the group has been through a lot. In 2021, we merged in March. In October, we rebranded. And when it comes to mergers, a company takes about 2 years to go through this transformation of a merger. We're past the 2-year mark, and I joke that our honeymoon is over, but then you need to start getting the value out of the merger. I think the next stage is growth, further growth, but growth not only in stores and sales, also growth as a company, in the brand equity, in the way we engage with our clients, in data and technology, in product offering, in a lot of things. So that's the plan. This happens not only in a small country like Malta, it happens everywhere. We've read of large organizations overseas where the second or the third generation or fourth generation did not continue the legacy, the success of companies. Sometimes it's not only just the fault of the individuals, the generations after. There could be market forces, could be situations. But when we come to family-sized businesses, I think one thing is succession planning. So the older generation need to let go, need to trust, need to throw the family, the younger generation in the field, give them a department, give them roles. Yes, it's different approach, different ideas, but unless they start letting go, then when it comes to the real time when they need to take over, they're not prepared. So that's definitely one idea. Secondly, form a board, start creating structures, form an informal board of directors and get externals to sit on the board. Mix it up, get externals to also give a corporate touch that the dad cannot just talk to the son or daughter in a way and no, this is my company, you do as say. So start putting pressure on yourself to do the right thing. And you do it by getting externals on the board, and you meet once a month and you discuss. They don't need to be directors in your company, just create this formality. And 3, think ahead. Things will change. Some things will work for the better, others not, but that's normal of a business organization. But if you're a small company, then it's harder because it depends a lot on you. You're a big force. So make yourself redundant. How can you as an individual, and it's not only family owned, even I as a CEO, I want the team to work better without me. If the company to survive has to work because I'm here, then I'm creating a bottleneck. And that's in a way, I think, insecurity, of a lot of leaders. No, make yourself redundant. It doesn't mean you fire yourself, but I want to focus on other things. So eventually, maybe there's someone better suited than me to run the operation, and I can add value in other areas which the company needs. And same for family-owned companies. Make yourself redundant, have a plan, communicate it, say in a year's time, I'd like to let go of certain things. It's a transition, it's a process. And plan for it and have milestones, get outside help, discuss, and enjoy the transition of seeing your offspring and your families take over. Because in the long run, what's worse is seeing what you built collapse, not because the other generation is not fit, but because it was your mistake by not giving them the opportunity.